Once upon a time, in a village, there lived a landlord named James, and he was a very disciplined person. Early morning, when the rooster would crow, he would wake up, and then he would go wake up the servants and send them to work in the fields. Dan and Jack had newly joined the landlord for work, but they were very, very lazy, and they struggled to wake up and go to the fields every day. Both of them used to sleep near a well every day, and one day, Dan told Jack, "It's becoming very difficult to wake up early and go to the fields every day. I feel the same way, Dan, but what can we do? As soon as the rooster crows, the landlord wakes up and he wakes us up too." The landlord watched the two men every day and carefully observed their behavior. Finally, he decided that he was going to teach the two men a lesson. One day, while both the men were sleeping near the well, a voice was heard coming from the bottom of the well. "Jack, how long will you sleep? Get up and go do your work." Jack heard the voice in his sleep and woke up all of a sudden. When he looked to his side, Dan was fast asleep, so he didn't know where the voice had come from. He assumed that he had a bad dream and went back to sleep. The very next day, both of them were sleeping near the well again. This time, Dan heard the same voice from the well. Like Jack, he too suddenly woke up. He turned around to find nothing, and even Jack was fast asleep next to him. Maybe it was just a bad dream, he thought to himself, and went back to sleep. The next day, while sleeping near the well again, the two men heard a terrible sound. They both woke up at the same time, completely frightened, and looked at each other. "Hey Jack, did you also hear the same sound?" "Yes, I got really scared. That was not a bad dream at all. The sound is coming from this well. I'm leaving to go to work. You can come if you want to." Wait, I'm coming with you." That day, the two men worked very hard in the fields, and in the afternoon, after working, they came to the landlord for lunch. When the men sat down for lunch, their faces looked frightened and worried. The landlord noticed their fearful faces and asked them what happened. Dan and Jack told him about the terrible sound that they had been hearing. The landlord heard this and laughed loudly. "Oh, both of you, that was not magic or a dream. I noticed how lazy both of you were being, and I wanted to teach you a lesson. I was the one who sat beside the well and made all those scary sounds. Now you both understand, right? From now on, put your laziness aside and do your work properly." Since then, Dan and Jack both left their laziness aside. They worked hard in the fields, making a good living for themselves, and they lived happily.